Shalom, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Danal. I got the brother Obadiah with me, the Bible Prince. I got brother Azrael with me. God is my help. I got the brother Yeshaya with me. God is my salvation. And we are back with another video, man. We celebrated Feast of Trumpets on yesterday, man. Video up yet?
No, I think it's still loading. It's on Brute phone, but yeah, I think it's still loading.
Con, man. That video should be uploading, man. Hopefully sometime by tomorrow, man. I encourage you guys to go check that out. We had a beautiful, fun time. A lot of laughs, man. A lot of memories created, and a lot of shofar blowing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Baruch. Um, Brother Baruch will be joining us in the hopeful Olympics. He's been laboring with us for a little over a month now, man. So and he's been scribing hard for us in the chat too, man. If you guys notice, so shout out to the brother Baruch, man, helping us to keep on doing this work and making our jobs a little bit easier with another helping hand. First and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Jacob. We do so by way of His only begotten Son, who is an instrument of salvation for the nation. And today's lesson won't be a long one, man, but I hopefully it's edifying. Right, I'm gonna mute your mic, brother Yeshaya. It's a little bit of echo, but so it won't be that long. Hopefully, man. And feel free to unmute yourself if you got something to say. Right, I was just muting it while I was talking right now because I could hear the echo. It was kind of scratchy. But today's lesson is going to be called "You Get Out What You Put In." You get out what you put in, and I'm just going to be touching on, and encouraging people to get out of that mindset of being the bare minimalist in this truth, right? To get out the mindset of being bare minimalist in this truth. What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to get into some precepts to explain what I mean by that. Let me share my screen really quick. And if the brothers have any opening statements, man, feel free while I'm trying to share my screen.
Salaki, I didn't even mean to come off mute, but
Salaki. Con. So this is the first precept right here, man. We're going to get right into it. This is going to be like our staple precept for today, Galatians 6 and 7.
Look at Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right, man. It says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. I want to put emphasis on God is not mocked. So the title of the lesson the title of the lesson is "You Get Out What You Put In," and it's geared towards the effort that you give the Most High, right? And I like the way Galatians put this is because it says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap." A lot of people just chalk this up to something, whether it just means like sow righteousness or sow wickedness, right? I'm going even further and to be a little bit more intricate to say, hey man, if you put in a little, right, be not deceived. God is not mocked. He understands that, like we get into these facets in our life to where we think we can outsmart God. We think that we can do the bare minimum and he'll be okay with that, and he'll bless us as if we were putting in a tenfold, right? And Galatians says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. He's not dumb, man, right? Don't deceive yourself in thinking that you're outsmarting the Most High. Don't deceive yourself into thinking that you can put in a little bit and get a lot back from the Most High. God is not mocked. Whatever you sow, ye shall also reap, right? If you sow a little bit, you will reap a little bit. If you sow a lot, right, you shall reap a lot, right? That is how the Most High operates. And that's one of the reasons why he says that husbandry is ordained. Husbandry meaning like gardening, planting, things like that, right? Because there's no surprise in the harvest, right? Whatever you put in the planting seasons, right, is what you're gonna get out in the harvest. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I know a lot of times you plant seeds. I know for a lot of times you plant seeds, right? And more than one vegetable pops up. But for the sake of this example, bear with me. Say you plant one seed, one harvest is gonna pop up. So let's just say that with one seed comes one watermelon, right? The way it works is you can't plant 3 seeds and expect 100 watermelons. It don't work like that, right? You get it, you get out what you put in, right? Get out what you put in. Let me get so now I want to use some of these scriptures, man, to kind of paint a picture, right? We're gonna go to Exodus 21. You might be like, why are you going to Exodus 21? Right? I'm gonna try to paint a picture here. We're gonna start at verse number 10. If I can get a brother to read this.
Exodus chapter 21 and verse 10, it reads, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Right, man. Let's say, for instance, here, I know a lot of brothers believe this is saying different things, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna say that this is what a man is required to do for his wife, right? Just for the sake of the video. I know brothers had a different take on this verse, right? But for the sake of this video, we're gonna look at this as this is what a man, his bare minimum duties to his wife is her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, right? Now, as a wife, right, we can understand that it's our husband's job. We can understand that it's your husband's job to provide these three things, right? But is that all you want out of your husband? Food, clothes, and sex? Is that all you want? No, you're gonna want a lot more out of your husband. You're gonna want compassion, right? You're gonna want you're probably gonna want some date nights, right? You know what I'm saying? You're probably gonna want some people might want some kids, right? It don't really mention kids in this. You know what I'm saying? You might want him to rub your back when it's hurting. You might want him to cook for you or when you sick. You know what I'm saying? You might want him to rub your feet, whatever, man, right? My point is saying this, right? You can have the bare minimum husband and it still not meet your expectations for who you want as a husband. Yeah, he's not in sin, but ultimately you're not really reaping the full reward that you can. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing for the Most High, right? And why do I say that's the same thing for the Most High? Bear with me, right? Let me see. Let me paint something. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, right?
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Right. So we know this is the whole duty of man, but at the end of the day, this is the bare minimum, right? And you might be like, oh, brother, you being over righteous, man. That's the bare minimum. That's what it say. I understand that. As you keep reading the progression of the Bible, there's other things that the Lord sent his son to issue us to do. What are some things that he said, right? Go ahead, brother Obadiah.
No, I was gonna say, man, even when you just read the Bible, like you were saying, man, certain aspects, you know, as a man, you know, that you should have, man, like the fruits of the spirit, you know, and having the fruits of the spirit will cause you to do certain things, you know, for your spouse. If you have those traits, rather than if you don't have the traits, you're just gonna, you know, kind of just be a Negro. Right. You got a king.
Right. Or average. Or what? Bare minimum. Go ahead, brother Azrael.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as you compare and contrast our relationship with the Most High to a relationship with a spouse, if we give the example that you talked about in the previous verse, we could see that, yeah, you can do the bare minimum just to keep your wife so she don't leave you, but you know, is that a good marriage?
Will
So-
she be happy with that?
Right. And
The bare
so,
minimum.
right, will she be happy with that? So vice versa, you know, we could do this, fear God and keep his commandments, but will we be happy if, you know, God just, you know, every time we pray for something, God said, hey, I'm making sure you got a roof over your head and some food. Shut up. You don't need that. Right. You know, we want abundance from the Most High God, but you know, the Most High God, he appreciates, like it says in Sirach, when we you know, there's never an, roughly paraphrasing, there's never enough that we can do for him, right? To go above and beyond for him, right? And we see people are rewarded for that, like David and things of that nature, right? You're rewarded for being perfect in your generations and stuff like that. And also seeking the Most High God, right? So there's a lot of times you can keep the commandments and fear God, but you may not seek God in everything that you do, right? You may just, you know, kind of like the brother Denal saying, you just doing the bare minimum and just going through the motions. And, you know, the Most High God might just give you through the motion blessings. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man, because, you know, the Most High does have it set up to where he wants to give you things in abundance. You know what he said in the Christian church, pressed down, shaken together, runneth over, right? He wants to give it to you, runneth over. But a lot of times we don't deserve it to be runneth over. A lot of times we just we get it to be just full enough to where we can consider it being full. You know what I'm saying? But you'll get that and be like, you know, how many of y'all ever went and got a milkshake or an icy and somebody prepared it for you? You get it back and you look at it and like, it's full, but like there's all that space at the top. He could have put a little bit more in there, right? And that's how we looking at God, when the Most High, when he blesses us and puts stuff in our life, because we're like, man, he could have gave me a little bit more. But then also, right, what is was it 2 Corinthians 13:5, I think? You got to examine yourself, right? Examine yourself and ask, why didn't he fill it up to the top? A lot of times when we go out and we get those shakes that got the room at the top, is because maybe we had an attitude with the server or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's the same way. But if you're really nice to the server really likes you. Sometimes they fill it up to where it's almost coming out the top.
You get that drink for free when you look at your tab.
You know what I'm saying? It's filled up to the top. You know what I'm saying? I gave you know, I go to Smoothie King from time to time, and it's the same thing I'm talking about to you right now. Sometimes it'd be a little bit space. You know, I look down in the cup like, dang, it could have filled up a little bit more, right? One time last week, I you know, I don't ever do this, but I was just feeling nice. I left a tip. You know, if Smoothie King, they ask you want to leave a tip. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, I ain't leaving no tip at no Smoothie King. But I left a tip, right? I got my smoothie, bro. The lid was trying to pop off that mug. That's how much they put it in there. You know what I'm saying? So, and what I'm saying is, you can pay the bare minimum, what they're asking you to pay, but when you put in more, you get back more a lot of the time.
And two, you know, they be acting like they turn away when you at the drive-through and stuff. But come on, bro, when they flip it back around, they can see what the price is. They understand how much more is on there when they see the final price, bro. When they got to give you a receipt. So they be kind of clocking that, right? But that goes to the brother's point, like you don't have to do it, right? But it may benefit you if you do it,
right?
And sometimes it doesn't feel good to do it, but just because it doesn't feel good to do it, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, right? Sometimes it feels like an inconvenience, right? I mean, I don't really got to do this. I don't want to do this. I ain't got to do no homeless event. You know, I just, you know, I do charity some other way. Like I ain't gotta, you know.
Is this feast day in the commandments, or is this just a memorial that's not in the law? Oh, okay, King. I just want to know, because if it's not in the law, I'll probably sit this one out. Right? A lot of brothers and sisters operate like that, right? And then even for the ones that's in the law, they barely make it to those. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I know it say that, you know, go to to the highways and byways, man. I know I'm young and I know my body's still able, and I got the ability to go out there, but it also says to rest on the Sabbath day. So I'm gonna just stay home and sleep all day.
See, and that's the thing too, though. Going back to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, it says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter: fear God and keep His commandments." But something that's not within this is go out and make disciples of men, right? We have an obligation to do that. We got an obligation to go on the highways and hedges, right? We have an obligation to do those things, right? Now, one could say, man, I don't have to do it because, it's not in the law. One could say that, but at the same time, what you get out what you put in, right? Roughly paraphrasing the parable of the talents, right? You get your talent, say your talent is you waking up to this truth and keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, right? That's the bare minimum. You don't want to be the brother that hides your talent in the dirt until Yahweh Shai come back, right? You don't want to be that brother, right? That's the bare minimalist. You want to be the brothers that they got the talent and they multiplied it, because when they multiplied it and Yahweh Shai, the king, came back and he saw what they had, you was faithful over a little, so now I'm gonna give you thousands, right? But the one that was being a bare minimalist, I was keeping the commandments, but I didn't, what I'm saying? I just did the bare minimum. Man, when the king came back, when Christ came back, y'all got to go back and reread that story, because excuse my language, but he was peed off. He was pissed off at the person that hid that talent. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was calling them names, pretty much saying he was worthless, that he does not deserve to come into the kingdom of heaven, right? That's what being a bare minimalist will get you, though, right? The brother Azrael touched on something, so I'm gonna bring this precept up next, right? It's, Matthew 6 and 26. And what happens when you put in extra, right? You provoke others to put in extra. You see what I'm saying? Going back to tipping, they call it the pay it forward concept, right? Or forward paying or whatever, where somebody paid for your meal, now it's your obligation to pay for somebody else's, right? It's contagious. Provoking us to good works is contagious. Can a brother read this for me?
Matthew chapter 6 and 26. Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?
Right. So he feeds the fowls, right, of the air. He gives them food, right? Keep going.
Verse 27. Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his treasure?
Maybe it's back. No, maybe it's forward.
Stature.
Right here. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin.
Come, man. So the brother brought up, what I'm saying, the Most High, he's not obligated to, but what I'm saying, he will clothe you and feed you. But is that all you want him to do for you, brother? Is that all you want him to do for you, sister? Are you okay with that? And a lot of people are, right? A lot of people, hey, man, and I strive to be like that those type of people, right? But in this life, we have wants and needs, right? We got people that want to have kids. We got people that want to get a job, right? We got people that, want to grow a beard. You know what I'm saying? We got people in this life. We have wants and we got needs that technically aren't not obtainable. But what makes you so special that the Most High will pour out abundance in order for you to receive those things, right? Are you putting in enough effort for the Most High to be like, you know what, that brother do deserve what he been asking for, right? Think about it in the world, man. But as little kids, man, we would go out our wits to be good and all that stuff for Santa Claus, right? You know, you better watch out. You better not cry. You know what I'm saying? Have you been naughty or nice? But for some reason, when it comes to the Most High, right, we like to play the bare minimalist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, and this is cliche. I think this is Stephen Curry's favorite verse, paraphrasing. You know, whatever you do it for the glorification of the Most High or God, right? You know what I'm saying? People always say, I play basketball, man. You know, I play every game like I'm playing for the Most High. That's cool and all, but anything that you do, you want to make sure you're doing it to the best of your ability, especially if God bless you with it. If God bless you with the ability to teach, well, you should be trying to teach as many times as you can. If God bless you with the ability to break down prophecy, you should be trying to break down this prophecy every single day because the nation needs you. You know what I'm saying? For women, if God bless you with the ability to be a super nurturer, you know what I'm saying? If you the baby whisperer, you should be trying to help as many sisters out as possible. You see what I'm saying? Taking advantage of every opportunity, not letting things go dormant, not putting your stuff underneath the dirt, right? Until Christ come back. See what I'm saying? Let me see. I want to get this right here, right? We're gonna stay in Matthew. We're gonna go to the chapter before, chapter 5. And we're gonna go to verse 19. Right?
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19, it says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Come on, man. And so, you know, I know a lot of brothers say, you know, they got their different takes on this verse too, right? Some say the least is saying like you're not gonna be in the kingdom at all. Right. And I can't necessarily disagree with them. But for the sake of this lesson, we're gonna take this as it is read, right? And so it says least in the kingdom. So you don't that's a bare minimalist is gonna be the least in the kingdom. Now, brothers, excuse me. Now, brothers, you know, they fantasize about what they're gonna have in the kingdom, what they're gonna be doing in the kingdom, this, that, and the third. But it's funny that a lot of brothers is fantasizing about it, but they're not putting in the effort to receive it. They just think they're going to receive it just free willy-nilly, right? A lot of the, you know, the funny thing is a lot of the hard things that we have to do on this on this earth is going to warrant that reward in the kingdom, right? The people that are beheaded for Christ in this Bible said that they're going to be treated the best in the kingdom, right? So that's just letting you know that you have to put more than just the bare minimum. It's not called for you to get beheaded for Christ, right? It's not in the law that you must be beheaded for Christ. But if you do that, how much more will the Lord bless you for putting an extra tip on top of your price, right? I think the brother Obadiah has something first before you, Azrael. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say, man, especially for brothers that teach, man, or that maybe, you know how certain brothers run their organization, they have like leaderships and things like that, and you a person that have a voice over your congregation. When I read this, man, when it says whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments is to teach men so, I think one of the main commandments that I think of that's getting looked at lightly and that, you know, people tell you, well, it tell you where it's okay to break is the Sabbath day, man. You know, it's a lot of, even, you know, just our nation in general, the Sabbath is not looked at as how the Most High God wanted us to look at it, man. It's more so if you can keep it, keep it. Like I seen one time, you know, it was a picture of a dude, I think it was a brother, and he was on the Sabbath day working, and he took a picture. He was like, man, he said, man, I hate working. Then he said, happy Sabbath. And it's Sabbath, so it's like, you know, the Sabbath is not looked at as how it's supposed to, because you have a lot of people that's talking amongst each other, or maybe telling other people it's okay to break. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep it, then the Lord understands. So that's part of telling people, you know, it's okay to break one of the commandments. If you tell them they don't got to keep it, but you got it, King.
Brother said, Shabbat Shalom. Can't wait to get off. I got 3 more hours.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah,
I
Khan.
think I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say too, man, and you may be asking yourself, well, what more could I do? What more can I do? I do this, I do that. I think I do enough. But I'll put this in every sister and every man's mind, every brother's mind. You know that one person that's doing more than you, right? And this goes not like say that we take the so-called truth out the picture, we take Christianity out the picture, say that we're just individuals trying to do right by God, right? Because at the end of the day, not everybody in truth gonna make it. Not everybody definitely in Christianity gonna make it, right? God's gonna be the judge at the end of the day. So let's bring it back to individuals that's trying to do right by God. We all know 1 or 2 people that's doing more than what we're doing. If we compare ourselves to them honestly, there may be people that are close to you, or maybe people that you watch from afar. But we all know 1 or 2 people that we like, dang, where do they find the time? How are they always obsessed with God? How are they always consumed with the work of God, the word of God? And we got to compare ourselves to those people and let it provoke us to keep pushing us forward. Because you can't expect the most out of life. You can't expect the most in the kingdom of heaven if you're doing not as much as the next man. For example, right? Job had everything taken from him, right? I have not been afflicted like Job has been afflicted. I can't expect this. I can't be mad when God blessed Job and be like, I want that too. Job went through something. God put that man through something that he ain't put me through, and I'm thankful. So I gotta respect that. I gotta be like, man, Job did a lot, man. That brother deserved that, right? But that still should fuel me to be like, you know what? Because he was ready to risk it all, I gotta be ready to risk it all.
Some people are like King Saul though. He wanted the praise that David was getting, but at the end of the day, he wasn't putting in the work that David was putting in. David killed 10,000, he killed 1,000, right? At the end of the day, you want to get praise like him, you got to be able to put the same work in. He's not getting that praise in vain. He's getting that praise for a reason. It's like, for instance, in the world, right? You know what I'm saying? You want to do the bare minimum. I'm not even saying 1,000 is the bare minimum because that's still mighty, right? But you want to do I'm gonna say for the sake of this video, you want to do the bare minimum and get praised like David. How many brothers in this truth right now want to do the bare minimum and get treated by David, by their peers, by their wife, by their kids? But you do the bare minimum, but you want to get treated like David. Even Saul want to get treated like David, but at least he killed 1,000. Nigga, I haven't killed nobody in my life. Nobody. I got a big goose egg, bro.
Hey, and even the people that have killed people in this life so far, in this generation, who is killing for the Lord? You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing to kill somebody, but it's another thing to kill for the Lord. And to say that you killed 1,000 people for the Lord, 10,000 people for the Lord, right? We're so far removed from that.
Man, it's like saying, like, I'm hating on Stephen Curry because he can shoot so well, and I'm negating all the tens of thousands of shots that he takes daily. Right? The brother can shoot well, not just because he just woke up and he could shoot out the gym. It's because he put the work in for it. A brother knows so many precepts and so many breakdowns because he actually studies. You know what I'm saying? You get out what you put in. It's that simple.
Hey, and that's something that they teach you in sports, man. Anybody play sports, bro? You know, if you're a lazy athlete and you don't like, well, you have some athletes that they freak. Well, they got genetics. They good, you know, by nature. But a lot of people, you know, they don't put no work in. They skip workouts. They don't want to work. They don't want to eat healthy, and they expect to go out there and just be in shape. And you know what I'm saying? It don't work like that, bro. Like you can't expect to go. What you said, King?
So they'll go out there and catch a cramp.
Go out there and catch a cramp, man. You can't go in the gym and expect you work out one time. Now you finna come out the gym, you know, swole. It don't work like that.
Shoot, I feel like it, bro.
Tell him, hey, Baruch got to tell him, man, you don't just do 10 push-ups and come out this guy looking like The Rock.
Hey, forget what they talking about, y'all. Let me tell y'all the real, man. You go in the gym one time, do a nice workout, you gonna come out of that thing feeling swole. I don't care what they talking about.
You can feel swole. You can feel swole. You can feel swole you want to.
You ain't gonna be swole though.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna feel it though. You gonna feel it.
You can feel like you better than King David, but are you?
But are you really?
Yeah,
you got that. It's like this, man. It's simple. You get out what you put in. If you got a piggy bank, right? If you put in a penny for 5 days, if you go and you take that piggy bank and you break it, how much you think is gonna be in there? 5 pennies. You not $100, but you know you got some delusional people that really think, oh, I think it's more than 5 pennies though. I know it's only been 5 days, but I think it's more in there. You got some people that are really delusional that think that way though about, and that's how they think in life. Go ahead, brother Azrael. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I ain't got nothing.
Come on, man. We're gonna keep moving. 2 Corinthians 9:6.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, this is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9 and verse 6. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly.
Man, you can't say it better than this. Keep reading.
And he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
Sparingly meaning little. Bountifully meaning in abundance. If you sow a little bit, you gonna get out a little bit. Hey, if you kill 1,000 people, you're gonna be honored for killing 1,000 people. If you kill 10,000 people, you're gonna get the honor that comes with killing 10,000 people. You see what I'm saying? It's not rocket science, but a lot of people lack this concept, right? Again, that's why we're doing this lesson. Go ahead, brother.
Hey man, it's a saying in the world saying you reap what you sow. And a lot of times people say that towards people that's doing something bad, or maybe somebody that was being nasty towards them, or somebody that done killed somebody. They always be like, hey man, it's cool. Hey, you reap what you sow, meaning, hey, what you putting out, you know, you going around killing people, you going around killing with the sword, it's gonna come back to you. You out here, treating people wrong, disrespecting people. You may have children and they be demons, because you getting punished for what you did, man.
Right. And you see it through your kids, man. Your kids are supposed to be a blessing to you, right? Mm-hmm. They end up being mediocre and subpar just like you are. Right? Just to show you the Most High kind of playing in your face. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is though. You know what I'm saying? I got one more precept. So with all this being said, man, what are we supposed to do? What are our takeaways? Right? Let's go to the book of Hosea. We're gonna go to 10 and verse 12. Right? Hosea 10 and verse 12. Brother Azrael, if you could read that for me.
The book of Hosea, chapter 10 and verse 12. Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you.
Right. If you want him to rain righteousness upon you, you first have to sow righteousness, right? And that righteousness is just not being a bare minimum, keeping the commandments, right? That righteousness is coupled with keeping the faith of Christ. Keeping that and keeping the faith of Christ. A lot of people think, man, it's just believing on him and what he did. It's believing on what he told you to do too. Go out, make disciples, right? You have to go out and pray for the sick. Show up to those that are in the prison houses, right? To give charity, give alms, right? This is encompassing in having faith in Christ as well. So you can't be a bare minimalist, right? And sow this righteousness and think you're gonna get blessed for it. You want to get rained upon, right? With all this righteousness and all these blessings, but you've never blessed somebody in your life, right? Brothers go 2 years without giving back. I know some brothers right now that I know a brother right now, man, right? No, I ain't saying no names, but a brother hasn't given back in a minute, right? And the only time he do give back is when there's some hidden agenda behind it. So he really not even getting back because he getting it back through something else. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, again, another telltale sign is this: like, sometimes the Most High will give you that abundance here on this earth when you don't deserve it, just for you to find out in the afterlife it's not what you thought, right? And you really seeing yourself for what you were, right? Even if you even see yourself in the kingdom at all, right? But that's what it is, man. That's what it takes. You get out what you put in. Examine yourselves, brothers and sisters, and see what are you putting in, and the things that you desire. Are you putting in enough to get those things that you desire, right? If not, you kind of got to go back to the drawing board and put a little bit more into the piggy bank, right? That's all I got. Any brothers got anything else?
Galatians 6:9. I think we touched Galatians 6, but I don't know if we read 9.
We read verse 7.
Galatians 6:9.
It's a good one.
You said we read what?
7.
We read verse 7.
6:7.
I don't get it, bro.
You don't get it?
Nah.
6-7.
I don't get it either. I just be saying it because everybody else said it.
I done heard that before, bro.
It's not supposed to make sense if people just doing it.
Yeah. To throw people off. Yeah.
This is Galatians 6:9. It says, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not."
Right. A lot of times, man, we get weary because we like, man, I'm doing enough already, bro. I ain't got to do all that, man. I don't feel in my spirit. The Most High is not calling me to do that, man. But the Most High is calling you. That's why it's on your spirit to even think about it, right? And so this is just a reminder: don't grow weary in well doing, right? If it's good, you should seek to do it, right? Not just the command. We know the commandments is good, right? But there's a lot more that's well doing, right? We can always do more for our brother and for our sister, right? We can always do more for the Most High God. So don't grow weary in it, man. Don't get tired of it. Don't get annoyed and grieved by it. Continue to do it because you're going to reap, like we just read in the previous verse, righteousness if we faint not, man. So come
on. Anybody else?
I will say this, though. Mighty lesson, and just want to say, man, encourage everybody to put more into it, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what man buildeth the house and not counteth the cost? Sometimes you got to think about like life and realize that sometimes it's going to take more to get more out of it for sure. You ain't going to be able to do your normal 8 hours sometimes. Sometimes you got to go 10 just to get a little bit ahead of the game. But
and some extra cash when you put in overtime.
Right. No lie. That was pretty much there. Overtime, man. Pecan.
Get compensated, man. Everybody else be like, nah, I want to go home. I already put my 40 hours in. But the ones that stay late, they get compensated, man.
God, man. We got one question before we leave, man. I'll touch on it very vaguely. It says, why is the creation story in Genesis so far off from what science shows us? My answer to you, brother, would be that a lot of things you see in science is going to be contrary to God or contrary to the Bible. And I'll say it like this. A lot of the forefathers of science were atheists. They didn't believe in God. So they made it their sole mission to find out they find answers, right? To exclude God, right? Because everybody used to say, well, why is this happening? And their answer always used to be because of God. And so they were on a mission to try to find answers outside of that answer of God. And so a lot of times you're going to see things that are so far left, but sometimes they give actual scientific explanations that they don't even realize go back to the Bible anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now you do got certain things like evolution where we come from monkeys and all that stuff that's just completely off. But as far as science, man, a lot of the forefathers from science, right, didn't believe in God, didn't believe in the Most High, and they made it their sole mission to try to prove that he was not real in their theories and stuff like that, right? But without further, just touching on it briefly, you know what I'm saying? If you want to have a deeper conversation about that, man, we'll be with Cherry Street this week, this Shabbat.
We don't know yet, G.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
But
Stay tuned.
too, I will say, and keep in mind too, science is a religion. So you're looking at a religion, right, that has laws and beliefs and has gods of its own, right, and powers of its own. So it's a religion, man.
Right. Even in science, which if you go back to the etymology of science, it means to know. So they can only know so much as human beings. That's why anything that's not a concrete 100% knowledge of somebody knowing something for a fact is always considered a theory. And theories can always be proven wrong, which a lot of them are, right? Or have been proven wrong. But without further ado, man, I'm Brother Danal, man. There was another lesson. You get out what you put in. Again, you get out what you put in. What are you putting in, right? What are you getting out? Do you like it? If not, change it. You have the ability to change it. We're the brothers of the hopeful elect. Our big brother Christ said this. He said, if you're not gathering, you're scattering. So make it your business to help gather the people together. Oh, nation not desire. We will see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing. Hope this was edifying. And see you guys then. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.